Hey guys, Greg here. Let's solve binary tree level order traversal, Leetcode 102. So we're given the root of a binary tree, and we want to return simply the level order traversal of its nodes values, which is basically saying from left to right, level by level. So in this example, it would be 3, 9, 20, 15, 7. So that level order traversal down left to right, that is exactly going to be the output. But as you notice here, they actually group up the levels by a list. So the first level is the list of 3, the second level is the list of 920, then the third level is the list of 15.7. So we don't include the nulls here, we simply just include the node values separated by their level. So the level order traversal of doing it like this is basically just breadth first search in a tree. So it's a BFS, and that means when we look at a node here, well, we're going to start with the root as we always do in a tree. We're going to explore its breadth first. So the next two nodes we're going to visit are both of its two neighbors. So we're going to see its left, which is 2, and then its right, which is 3. That is different than a depth first search, where in a DFS, we'd likely do something like this, where we started to go down to 2, and then we would explore further down this way. But that is prioritizing depth, aka going down the height. Here we are going to prioritize breadth, and so we see here, and then we go over here, then we'll see here, and then we'll see here, and then we'll see here. So the way to implement this BFS in a tree is by using a queue here, okay? So normally we use a stack or recursion, which stack and recursion are the same thing. We have a call stack, so really they're doing the same thing. We would use a queue. We first put the root on the queue, and so we'd have a queue. It's going to append on the right side, and it's going to pop from the left side. We'll see that in a moment. So we put the root on the queue, and then we immediately take that off as we process it. Now when we're processing this one here, we'll also keep track of another variable. We'll just call it ret. This is the thing we're going to return. So this is going to be a list. And for now, I'm not going to worry about those inner lists. We're just going to keep the order right. So we'd put 1 here because we saw that first. And then to finish off the processing of this node, we need to queue up its neighbors. And I'm saying neighbors now because I'm thinking about this as a graph. A tree is a graph. And if you haven't done graphs, that's totally okay. But this thing has neighbors. It has a left neighbor and it has a right neighbor. So it has a left. Since it has a left, we are going to append that to the queue to use it next. Now, does it have a right? Yes, it does. We're going to put that node on the queue. And by the way, over here in our queue, these are actually node references here. So you could picture these more as like, it's the reference to these nodes, not the number. Over here, we just want the number because we're returning that. Over here, we'd want the actual node references so we can work with those nodes. But I'm not going to keep the circles, just know these are the references. Now, since this is a queue, we are going to pop from the left. So we do that. There's actually a way to do that in O of 1 time. As long as you use a dedicated object for that, that's usually implemented as a linked list. You can do that in O of 1. We're actually going to use the dequeue object in Python for that. But we popped that 2 there, and so that's what we are processing next. So we process this node here, and we are going to immediately add it to our return list. Now, if this node has a left, we'd want to queue that up, but it doesn't. If this node has a right, we'd want to queue it up. It does, so we actually add that to our queue here. And now we need to process the next thing, and it's going to pop from the left. So we take this one out. So that is what forces the level order traversal, or otherwise known as a breadth first search. We just force to go this way, exploring the breadth first using a queue. So it's the queue that's getting this done. Okay, so I'm just going to do this quickly. I think you get the idea. Here we have the 3. We're going to process that by putting it over here in our return. We're going to queue up its neighbors, whatever it has. It has the 5, and so we're going to queue up the 5. We're going to process the 4 next. That's going to put a 4 over here, and it doesn't have anything, so it's not going to queue anything up. Over here, we go over to the 5 because we process the next node here. It has no neighbors as well, so all we do is we have this list of stuff, and we'd end up doing this. We do this loop basically of what we've been doing. We do that while we have a queue, and you can actually write that in most languages. While we have a queue, meaning while the queue is not empty, this is the stuff that we're going to do. And so this will finish, this loop will finish when we run out of elements, as in when we've traversed the whole tree, because we didn't queue anything else up. So now we are complete. So we'd be able to return this list right here. Now this is 99% of the way there, but this isn't quite what the answer was looking for. It actually would have been looking for this here. So these are going to be inner lists. So it actually wanted it to look like this. The list of 1, the list of 2, 3, the list of 4, 5 here. So it's doing it level by level. It wants those separated by the lists. Now it's not really worth explaining this in the visualization. I think it's better to show that in the code. So we're good to go. So firstly, if the root is none, so if we were given an empty root here, this is simply for just the one base case of if we were given basically a tree with no nodes, because that's allowed. If that is the case, you'd want to return none. Now to use a queue, you'd want to use q is equal to a dequeue. Watch the spelling, it's very particular. This dequeue is coming from collections. We'll import dequeue. Okay, so it's from that. So now we are able to use it here. Technically in the Leetcode environment, you wouldn't have to import it, but if you're in your own Python environment or you're in a coding interview, you would definitely want to show where you're importing it. Okay, so we would want to do a queue.append the root. So we will start by just putting the root on there. And we know the root is a valid node because it's not none. We already checked that. So then we are also going to get our answer array. This is the thing, I called it ret in the visualization, but here we're going to call it answer. Now we have while we have a queue. So this is going to run while our queue is not empty here. So we are going to first establish our level. So the level is going to be our inner list here. So we need to have these inner lists here. We're going to build up level, and then we'll end up appending level to the answer array. So that answer is a list of lists. And now the clever part is to get n is equal to the length of the queue. So n is the length of the upcoming level. So at the first iteration, n is going to be 1 because we see that the root has been queued up there. N would be 2 the second time here because there's 2 nodes that will be there after processing the first level. And then after the next level, it'll have processed everything. So don't worry if that doesn't make sense yet, it will in a moment. So then we can do for I in the range of n here. So we want this to run n times, and we don't even really need the index here. We're purposely just running this n times. We'll completely have finished the current level because if n is equal to 1, well then this is going to run once. So after this for loop completes, we know we've done the first level. The second time it'll run twice because n will be 2, and so after we run it twice, we know that we've processed the second level, and so on. So this for loop is going to process one level. Hence, at the end of this, our level array is going to be built up. So we'll get node is equal to q.pop left. So this is a dequeue function here where we pop from the left. Normally on an array, if you just call pop, that is kind of an assumed popping from the right. That would be a stack. And so we need to pop from the left. That way it is a queue. And so this is the current node that we're processing. We'll get level.append the node's value. So we are going to add that to our current level here. And if we have a node.left, well, then we want to q.append the node.left. And I'm just kind of writing it on the same line here. You're welcome to do this if you'd prefer. Okay, so if it has a left, we want to queue up the node reference on the left side. And if the node has a right, well, then we want to q.append the node.right. Okay, so we're only putting these things on the queue if they actually exist. If they are null, like over here, we don't want nulls on there. So we're only going to put valid node references. At the end of this for loop, we are actually completed that current level. So what we can do is answer.append the level. So level would have been fully built up because of this for loop, and we append that current level so that we start to get our list of lists here. Okay, and that's actually all of the code here. So we simply can just return our answer, and if we were to run that, that would work. Now, what is the time complexity of this? Well, basically, we are just kind of processing all of the nodes here. Don't get too wrapped up in the fact that we have a while loop, and we also have a for loop inside of that. We don't have some squared relationship here. No matter how we're doing this, we're still going to complete this stuff once we've processed all of the nodes at every single level. This just kind of helps us organize it per level. So we're processing every single node. And so if you have n nodes in the tree, then that is going to be considered an of n. The space complexity of this is dependent on our queue. So we have no recursion. So the call stack's not taking up any space here. But how many things could get stored in the queue? Well, basically at some point at the very second last level, you're going to have the entire bottom level stored in the tree. And because it's a binary tree, it's actually going to get possibly double the amount of nodes at every step here. So we have 1 at the beginning, that's 2 to the 0. Here you could have 2 to the 1, which is 2. Here you could have 2 to the 2, which is 4. The second last level could be something like 2 to the 31, and the last level could be like 2 to the 32. Basically, the last level of the tree could store, sadly, approximately O of n many nodes in the queue here. So the last level of the tree, it's almost half the size of the other parts of the tree, all combined. I know that's kind of crazy, but that's your doubling effect for you. That's what's going to happen. So because of that, you have so many nodes in the bottom level, you're going to have those put on the queue at some point that is going to store O of n things. Okay, so I hope this was helpful, guys. Drop a like if it was, and have a great day. Bye-bye.